All right, today we're going to be replacing the map sensor on a Hyundai Ioniq hybrid. Uh, should be the same for all Ioniqs, 2017 to 2022 when they made these. This one's a 2020 SEL. So this is the engine compartment. The map sensor is down here underneath our air filter. So we're going to have to pull a couple parts out to get to it. So we're going to remove some of the air intake here to get it out of the way. Loosen that screw, we can pull the hose off there. I think let's see, it looks like we've got a bolt here. So I removed a couple bolts. There's one that goes right here and one up here. I'm just trying to remove this air filter housing. I just flipped open these clips and pulled out the air filter and its cap. There's a couple more bolts here. This is the mass airflow sensor. So we're going to pull out that bolt. And then there's one underneath here. These are all 10 millimeter bolts. I'm going to pull those out and disconnect that so I can remove this housing to get where we need to be. All right, so I've removed the two bolts we talked about over there. The bolts here, admittedly, the one on the underside down here is a bit of a bugger to get to, but not too bad. Just make sure you don't drop it. Keep a hand under it as you pull it out. You don't really want to have to fish that out. And we're able to move this mostly out of the way. I know there's another thing holding down that corner of this cap, and I can't remember what it was, but I don't really need it totally gone. I just need it a bit out of the way, because here's what we're after right here. This, let's see, right back in there, that is our mass air pressure sensor. So there's a clip right here. We're gonna just pinch down on that and we can pull that off. And then there's just one hex head screw back there. Should be able to get to that with the ratchet with an extension. We'll get that unscrewed, pulled out. All right, so to get that out of there, here's the offending part. Looks like it's got some grease on it and stuff. Might be part of why it's causing issues. It's held in by this screw right here. To get that out, you're going to want a 6-point tip like this. This is, I don't know what size it is, but it was the largest one I had, and that seemed to fit in there really well. So we pulled out the old part. Going to put in a new part. You can find these anywhere from eBay Motors to Rock Auto to AutoZone or any one of those. Anywhere from about $20 to over $100 depending on where you buy it and what brand you get. This is an OE spec one that I got online. We'll get it put in there and screwed back in and put back together. Okay, so I got the new one screwed in. You got it put in tight. Tighten that screw, so we're going to put this clip back in. This little lip right here needs to go on the outside. There's a little nub that it sits on, and it just clicks into place just like that. Then it's just a matter of doing those bolts back in, get this secured back in, get it all put back together. Hope this helps. Feel free to leave a comment. Thanks. Just a couple of things I failed to mention. The reason I was replacing this is I had a bit of a rough idle. It wasn't throwing any engine codes, but I've already replaced the mass airflow sensor and done a couple other things. So this is my next attempt to try to chase the rough idle. When working with these bolts at the mass airflow sensor, I ended up using a wrench like this. You can't really get a socket on there very well. That's in the way, and even if I move that out of the way, the one on the underside it's pretty hard to get to with the socket, so just using a wrench like this. So a couple things I want to mention about this sensor, and with it being dirty, I could have tried to just clean it using the proper cleaner and seeing if that helped, but where I already had the replacement, I figured I might as well just go ahead and replace it. If I do start having issues again, or if I check the new one later and it's messy again, I may have to swap out the PCV valve, or check for the source, try to determine where the problem is. Since replacing this about a week ago, it does seem to have helped with the rough idle so far. We'll see if that continues on track. And overall, this is a pretty easy repair to do. It took me only about 45 minutes, so really not too bad.